Let's catch a couple here and ask them what is love. I doubt that they will explain it.
$100 million question for you. What is love?
I think it's probably like a chemical, like biological sort of attraction, like to somebody based on, trust and shared experience.
So in my words, it would be all the feelings and emotions within you and what you can show and direct people and embrace them. That's it.
That's a hard question.
Love is something that needs a lot of things. It's a commitment, It could be between two human beings, between a human and an animal, between two souls, spirits, whatever. But it is really hard to find real love nowadays. I think so.
I would use the Bible as a guidance, and particularly the 10 Commandments, for example. And God said there are two main commandments. First one is to love God with your whole heart, your whole soul, and your whole mind. And then love your neighbor as yourself. And then he also says, what is love of God? It means obeying the commandments.
It's when someone has deep feelings for somebody, or like having a, how can I explain it? Guys, talk as well, guy. I won't lie, talk as well.
I was just saying, two people have a deep connection.
Yeah. And have a lot of feelings. There's different type of love for different type of things. Like, you can love, say like something you do, or you can be in love for somebody. So that's why like love can be complicated sometimes. But love can be good, but it can also hurt at the same time if things go left.
Someone told me that love's like most hurtful weapon, like a weapon that everybody has. You always accept it, but like I say, there's always that small part of you that knows that you may get hurt or you may hurt someone.
Everybody loves love in this place, man. Love is good. Love is a good thing. You gotta enjoy it. Don't listen to these.
Well, love is basically feeling the best way you can, expressing, your love, and just basically being grateful, being appreciative, treating yourself the best way you can, and then obviously treating others the best way you can,
So love is, I just don't believe it nowadays because things are more materialistic and, and stuff like that. So that's what love sounds to me at the moment. I think it used to be much more sacred in the past. But as we are modernizing, we are developing as human beings, technology is just taking over. Human beings are getting like much more separated from each other. They tend to lose emotions. And love is just kind of an attachment of two bodies, skins. As soon as you lose interest, there is no love anymore. That's what I think. I might be wrong.
There was one of the ancients, and I can't remember who it was. It could have been Virgil, who said, love is to be found down in the rocks beside the sea. In other words, love is not a smoochy, shallow stuff that's portrayed on the television and in popular culture. It's the exact opposite. Love is more a decision in your head. Usually it involves putting the other person first and taking care of the other person, the needs of the other person before yours.
Love is something that, I don't know, love is just something that, I don't know. I don't know. Love is just a feeling, It's something that people like, I don't know.
Would you say that love is just a feeling, or would you say that it's something deeper than that?
I don't know. I would say, I think a feeling is like a good way to describe it. I don't know what it would look like to be deeper than a feeling, if that makes sense.
Is love a feeling? I'll say it is a feeling, because as I said before, love is like really liking something, and liking is a feeling, so I think that's it.
Yeah, I would say it was more than a feeling. That's a deep question. I think it is.
I think it's much deeper than that, and I think it's an energy, and that it's that give and take. It's connection. It's probably being on the same vibe as other people as well. I think can be part of it, but it is certainly a feeling, and that can vary as well.
It is not a word. It's not just feelings. You cannot create feelings, actually. It is much more deeper. That is why people are struggling to find real love.
I would say deeper, but it's obviously a feeling of some sort. So you're going to feel it anyway. So technically, it's deep down there. So yeah, of course.
First of all, we really need to understand what is love. And then it is not something people say, oh, I fall in love. That's not a well that you fall into.
Who are the people that you love the most?
I would probably have to say my parents and my siblings, 100%.
It would definitely be my family, and it would be my friends.
That would be my family, right? Shared experience, definitely, and just like a mutual care for each other and concern, right? And then like, you know, if you have a significant other, then that as well, same sort of deal, shared experience, a lot of common interests, stuff like that.
The people I love the most would probably be my family, my parents, and other people.
It's my mother, I think. It's an unconditional love, I think. It doesn't matter if I kind of provide something in return or not. I still love her and she loves me as well. It doesn't matter whether I'm rich, whether I'm poor, whether I'm ugly. Even if I could be the ugliest person in the world, they would say you're beautiful. So that's an unconditional love, you know.
Okay.
My family is the first thing that I love. I love my family because they take care of me. They're the ones that keeps me and what motivates me for whatever I want to do.
The most loved person would be my mom. Yeah, because when I was young, her doing business and it's very difficult and very busy. It put a lot of effort on that. So I really admire my mother. Yeah.
Or I think that's parents, you know, that loves you unconditionally. Apart from that, I think everything does include something, whether if you're friends, your brothers even nowadays, or your girlfriends maybe, because love is quite temporary nowadays. You just fall in love with somebody in a week and then you just walk away and then the next person is just a couple of weeks. Maybe I sound a bit harsh, but that's the reality, you know. That's the reality.
I think there are different loves. I think the love you have with your friends and the love you have in relationship love is a different love to family love. I think for me, family love is like deep. And even though, you know, we can have our disagreements, we can be very different, there's still that bond or that connection that's probably there from before our birth.
There's so many different kinds of love. You know, there's love for, you know, the environment. There's love for family. There's love for friends. There's intense, intimate, passionate love. So there's all kinds of love.
So there's an element of sacrifice, you know, and like a sacrificial love, you know, as opposed to romantic love or whatever. I think it's the one that lasts, that has some value. Whereas the other is just fluff, you know. It doesn't, it's like counterfeit currency, you know.
What's the greatest way that a person can show love?
The greatest way, crikey, perhaps loyalty, honesty and loyalty. They would be constants, I suppose.
The greatest way to show love is just to show kindness and be kind. And I mean, I suppose saying it is another way. Poetry is another way of showing it, you know. And just, you know, as I said, action sometimes speaks louder than words, you know what I mean? It's just, you know, showing that you're there for somebody, you know, that kind of way.
Respect, kindness. I think respect, kindness, having a mutual trust. I think they're the kind of three words that would come to mind for me.
For the people that you say that you love the most, would you be willing to die for them?
That's a tough one.
I mean, I would say there have been circumstances in my life where people have come close to death, where I felt I wish I could take their place. Yeah. So I think there are people that I would die for.
100%. I did actually skydive there for my dad because he's actually sick at the moment. So I flew to Dubai and did a skydive for him. And that was 14,000 feet. And I would have been happy if something went wrong. It would have been fine with me as long as he was fine.
Wow.
So yeah, I would die for any of them.
Would I die for love? Okay, so let's say I love my daughter intensely, and if she was in danger, if there was something happening, if there was an earthquake or a bullet, I would stand in front of it for her. Yeah, absolutely. So yes, I would die for love.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, so obviously put like a gun to my head, it would be pretty tough to do that, but sure. And then, yeah, I guess I would say, I would say like, that's like a family is a different type of love than like a partner, right? So like until I'm like married to my partner, I don't think I would die for them until that point. Or we have like a shared kid, then maybe at that point I would die for them, but not prior to that. A girl that you met a few months ago, probably not, but like your wife, then yeah. If you were to die for somebody after you've only known them for a couple of months, I'd be a little concerned. You might be in a little too deep.
It's a hard question. Probably not. Probably not. But maybe if I really, really love someone, but I doubt so.
Yeah, I would, because in China we have a spirit of self-sacrifice. So I would die for the person I love. Yeah, definitely.
Yes, I would die for my mom, for my dad, and my siblings.
That's really deep love. And do you know the way there's some people that if you ask that question, they would say no, that they wouldn't be willing to die for their family. Why do you think that is?
I don't know, some people just don't appreciate some people are just ungrateful, whatever their mom and dad does for them. But this is how I'm born, I love my family that takes care of me. I respect the people that give me respect and takes care of me.
Why would you say that some people wouldn't be willing to die for the people that they say that they love?
Why? Maybe they're not strong enough as a person that they are themselves. They need to be strong as a person, as an individual. And I had that within me to do for my dad. So would other people die? I'm sure they would. If they're pushed to do something, they'll do it if they're strong enough at the time.
Yeah, first I think different people hold different opinion, and the personality is so different. So some person will just die, and not everyone.
And would I die? Would I die for my parents? That's a difficult question. Or anyone. I would like to think, you don't know until you're in that situation. Even dying for your faith. Having said that, I would like to think dying for your faith, for example, or dying for your parents, it would be just a circumstantial thing. It would depend on the situation. It doesn't actually arise that often. But I would say soon, maybe people may have to choose to live or die for their faith. That's really the only scenario that I see. I hope it never comes to that, really, to be honest with you. But I pray to God, I should be a witness to Christ, and to God in the end. That's all I can say.
So, Do you think that God is love?
I'm not too deep in my faith at the moment, so I wouldn't personally relate to that, but I would say that I can see that people do relate to that who are more religious and like kind of center their life around that sort of as like the center of their life. Yeah, I could see it. I personally can't relate to it, but
Definitely, yes, I would actually.
Is God love? Yes, I think there's a big God out there that listens and delivers, and sometimes maybe doesn't deliver, and maybe it's for our own good. When God removes people from your life, you have to realize that He saw things you didn't see, He heard conversations you didn't hear, and He made the moves you wouldn't make.
I don't have religion, but I respect that kind of opinion. Yeah, for me, I don't connect the love with God.
Well, the Christian God, the God of the Trinity, God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Ghost. I would imagine, I believe God is love. These other gods, I don't think they're love.
Well, going back to your childhood and that, like whatever you're brought up on, you're going to focus in on that. So I was very religious and very spiritual, but I can't say for anyone else, but I would say God is love in ways, yes. But if you see everything else that's happening in the world at the moment, you would think then, what's actually happening? Is there a God? Is there love there? Who knows?
And people have different opinions on it, because sometimes when tragedy happens, you'd say, how could God let that happen? If there's a God, how could that happen? But I guess maybe we have, that's part of our course, that's part of our journey and part of our experience in this world.
Yes, I think God is love.
And why would you say that?
I believe that God exists and He created all of this, I know it.
If something, like you just escape an accident or something, you're like, oh God, somebody was praying for me at that time. So I definitely believe there is something greater than that.
Basically, you'd want to be living under a rock not to realise that He is. And unfortunately, most of the people are in the Western world are brainwashed and are living under rocks, Hegel, I believe, I'm not a philosopher, but I believe he is this idea of autonomous man. That idea that man detaches himself from the Christian God, and then he flies like a spacecraft in space, outer space, like those Voyager 1 and 2s, gone out into deep space, and basically there is no future there, there's absolutely no future, and the modern world is a magnificent place. They produce great technical achievements, it's quite astounding, what they've achieved. But I think they've forgotten the most important things.
But we're going to have to cut the interview short because the music, the Valentine's music behind us has just proven to be a little bit too much. Thank you.
Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails.